Hey there, empath warriors. Welcome back to HSP TV channel. I'm your host, Barbara, and today we're diving deep into the world of super empaths again. Have you ever felt like your emotions are cranked up to 11, maybe even 12? Well, if so, then that just might mean that you are a super empath. So join me as we explore what happens when all that empathy goes into overdrive and turns into a supernova explosion. So let's start with understanding the super empath. What exactly is a super empath? Well, they are not your run-of-the-mill empaths. They're more like the emotional superheroes of the world. You know that friend who always seems to know exactly how you're feeling even before you do? That's a super empath for you. They possess an unparalleled ability to tune into the emotions of those around them, often without even trying. It's like they have an emotional radar that picks up on even the faintest signals of distress or joy. So now let's talk a little bit about what leads to a super empath going supernova. Because it's not just a random explosion of emotions, it's the culmination of various factors. Imagine constantly absorbing everyone else's feelings, day in, day out, without a break. Eventually, that emotional burden becomes too much to bear. It's like carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, except the weight is made of emotions, both your emotions as well as the others' emotions. Take my client Sarah, for example, a super empath working in a high-stress environment. She spends her days surrounded by colleagues who are constantly under pressure, and she can't help but soak up that stress and that energy like a sponge. And on top of that, she's dealing with her own personal challenges, from family issues to health concerns. It's a recipe for emotional overload, and Sarah is teetering on the edge of a supernova explosion. When a super empath hits their breaking point, it's like a tidal wave of emotions crashing down on them. One moment, everything seems fine, and the next, they're drowning in a sea of feelings. Theirs, others, everyone's. It's overwhelming and it's suffocating even. They may experience intense mood swings from euphoria to despair in a matter of minutes. It's like being caught in a whirlwind of emotions with no way out. Like my client David, for instance. He's been bottling up his emotions for months, trying to be strong for everybody else. But one day, it all became too much, and he had a meltdown at work. He lashed out at his colleagues, unable to contain the flood of emotions raging inside of him. It's a wake-up call for David, a reminder that he can't keep ignoring his own needs in favor of others' needs. So, how do you handle these supernova moments as a super empath? Very good question. So let me share some tips with you on how to best handle these supernova moments. The first one is to prioritize self-care. And I know I've spoken about this in almost every other of my videos, but I cannot stress enough how incredibly important it is to prioritize your self-care. And that's not going to the spa or doing your nails or your hair or whatever it is that men do to take care of themselves. It's a lot more than that. It's making time every single day for yourself, no exceptions. Sometimes that can indeed be a bubble bath, but it can also be a walk in nature, or unplugging from social media, curling up with a good book, or doing something else that nourishes your soul. And it's so incredibly important. And if you are busy and think you're too busy to do these things, or you keep forgetting because you're so busy, then you really need to start scheduling your self-care to have self-care. Put it on your calendar, put it in your planner, schedule it. The second one is to set boundaries. And this means that you need to learn to say no when you need to, and also to not feel guilty about it. Your mental and your emotional well-being should always come first. A thing that really helped me with this is when I realized that when I say no to somebody else, I'm actually saying yes to myself, yes to what I need, and yes, what I need to keep myself in balance. And that's not selfish, that's not egoistical, and that's certainly not narcissistic. If these are things that you're struggling with, then look up my last week's video that was about this topic exactly. It is mandatory. You really need to prioritize self-care and learn to say no when it comes to it. The third is to surround yourself with supportive people. Having a strong support system can make all the difference during tough times. Surround yourself with friends or with family or with a therapist, a coach, or a mentor who understands and appreciates your empathic nature and who can be there for you. And if you feel like you have no friends and maybe you are not in contact with family and you're feeling extremely alone, like I did when I was going through everything, then you might want to consider joining my solutions community. I've created an online community of people just like you, just like me, where we can connect with one another, where we can learn from each other, where we can grow together, where we can share our life stories together, where we can come to be heard, seen, and understood, and where we can offer a shoulder, an ear, or whatever it is that we need, but where we also grow as people because we are learning about ourselves and applying it to our everyday life. The link will be below this video. The fourth is to seek professional help if needed. And I want you to know that there is no shame in reaching out when you need help, in reaching out for support, whether it's through therapy, counseling, or coaching. It is, in fact, one of the strongest things that you can do, because it takes a lot of courage to admit that you are not cutting it by yourself and that you are at a loss about what to do next and that you could really use someone. Sometimes talking to a trained professional can provide valuable insights and strategies for managing your emotions, especially when you connect with someone who's been there and who knows what you're talking about and that is really in a position to help you overcome these things. That is why I offer everybody who is serious about wanting to explore working with me a free virtual coffee session that you are required to show up for if you book it. The fifth is to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. This means that you need to take time to check in with yourself regularly, so that you can notice any shifts in your mood or maybe your energies levels, and where you also learn to be gentle with yourself during difficult moments. I have a variety of exercises and tips that can help you with this. The sixth is to engage in activities that bring you joy. This means finding hobbies or interests that make your heart sing. Whether it's painting or gardening or dancing, building something, whatever it is, make time for activities that light up your soul. You need it. My 7th tip is connect with nature. Spending time outdoors can have a calming effect on your nervous system. Take a walk in a park, sit by the ocean, a river, or a lake if that's close to you, or simply go outside and gaze at the stars. Whatever helps you feel grounded and connected to the world around you. Again, I also have beautiful exercises to help you with grounding, if that is something you could use some help with. And the 8th and final tip I have for you today is to practice gratitude. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things that you're grateful for. Even on the toughest days, there's always something to be thankful for. Look for the silver lining in whatever shitty thing that's happening in your life. Look at the one thing that you learned from it, the thing that you can take with you into the next experience. Something that this experience has taught you that could be considered as valuable, and be grateful for that lesson. Being a super empath isn't always easy, but it is a gift nonetheless. By recognizing the signs of a supernova explosion and taking proactive steps to manage it, you can harness the power of your empathy and use it to make a positive impact on the world around you. You're not alone in this journey. We are all in it together. So that is why one of the things I specialize in is helping you discover who you are at your core, discover your genius, heal your wounding, change your paradigms, and reorganize your autopilot patterns and programs so that you can unlock your prosperity too. Take care of yourself today. Listen to your body, listen to your emotions, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Join the solutions community if you want to connect with a like-minded tribe. And if you're serious about wanting a better life and working with me, book a free virtual coffee call. Show up and let's talk. After all, even superheroes need a helping hand every now and then. I hope that today was valuable. Share your biggest insight below this video. Like and comment and share this video. Thank you so much. And until next time, have an amazing rest of your day.